I started this channel just so I could teach you how to work out and how to lift weights. I've been lifting weights for about 20 years now. Actually, it's probably about 26 years I've been lifting weights and bodybuilding and using training to accentuate the way I look or my performance in sports. So I thought I'd start the channel to be able to share some of this information with you. Now, it's important to tell you that my priority isn't like the Hodge twins to gain mass and make gains, you know. Although I do enjoy, you know, gaining muscle and strength and performance. But my first priority isn't that. My first priority is the integration of flexibility and performance for me playing hockey or for just feeling overall better, you know. One thing, if you're 20 years old or if you're 15 years old or if you're young and you're starting to work out, you'll probably notice that you just can't get gains fast enough. You can't wait to gain muscle or to get strong or to impress your friends with your bench press or this sort of thing. But after you've been in this game for a while, you start to realize that if you push the body hard, you can get gains, but if you push it too hard, you'll actually get an injury. So my training changed quite a bit years ago when I dislocated my shoulder in hockey, and I followed that up with a pretty good injury to my lower back. Successive injuries, actually, a couple of them, just through doing weight that I could play with on the squat. I was playing with 400 pounds for sets of 20 at the time, and not a hard workout for me, but I ended up hurting my back quite badly. So I had to change my strategy in training accordingly because of that. So what I've realized is that there are ways to train that are totally individual. You don't have to train the way somebody tells you to train. So what I mean by that is that your body is built slightly different with, you know, the length of certain body parts in comparison to another, like the ratio, like say ratio of femur to tibia in your leg may be different. So your squatting technique may be different. Your bench press technique may be different. But there are general rules that really do apply. You'll notice that when I train, I'll use a lot of partial movements. And the reason why I do this is because never are your joints in more of a dangerous position than when they are extended or overextended in some way. That's when your ligaments and tendons and joints in your tissue actually take most of the stress. But when you stay in a comfortable range where you always stay tense, what will happen is you will not only work the muscle harder because it doesn't get a rest, but you will also preserve the tendons and the ligaments in the body. Now, there were a few injuries that I gained and I learned from. And, you know, one of the reasons why I received those injuries is because I wasn't doing something. And it's the most important thing you can do. The most important thing you can do when you're training is not to listen to your head, but listen to your body. And this takes time to learn. It's like gaining wisdom on the physical level. This will not happen overnight, you know. So you learn to create a conversation between what your body's telling you, what this pain means as according to that type of pain. You know, like there's a good pain and then there's a negative pain. There's a pain that is going to snap something up, like the Hodge twins say, you know, you're going to snap some shit up. And then there's a pain that will help in your evolution and help you actually become more in shape or stronger or perform better in your sport. So knowing this, paying attention to hear what's happening in the body is the most important thing. See, I have another YouTube channel that talks about the enlightenment process. It's called Jason J. Gallant. And you could check that out if you're interested in learning more about meditation and that sort of thing. But what spurred me to go into that discipline, to learn more about meditation and learn more about the mastery of the physical body from a mental and spiritual point of view, energetic you could call it, you know, the Qigong masters call it Qi, was because I knew as much as I could possibly know about working out from my own experience, from being in the trenches and training every day and competing all over the world in natural bodybuilding competitions. But I had taken it to a place where there was something missing. So there was something else that was involved. And what that was really learning how to pay attention in a deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper level. When you see anyone that is great at anything, whether it's a sport, or whether it's music, or whether it's art, one thing they are very good at is paying attention to exactly what's happening or to exactly what's in front of them. So You may say to me, oh, well, how's this going to help? How's this going to help me? Paying attention, is that going to get me bigger biceps? Is that going to get me more strength? The truth is yes, it actually will if this is your goal. Now, like I said, your priority might be different than mine. I like to gain muscle, but I like to first and foremost be happy and healthy. That's the first thing. Second is gaining muscle and performance. But if you pay attention, you'll have less injuries, and you will be able to better make decisions based on what exercises you should do that day in order to get, maybe you need a stretch, maybe you feel tight in a certain area and you say, no, it feels like a good stretch light day, But how many people do you know, they walk around with their little notebook and they say, oh, no, my program says specifically I must do this today. So the problem is with that notebook is that they're ignoring what's maybe happening in their body. Their body might be saying, no, like to squat or to bench press in a particular fashion is actually just murdering your joints, but not actually, breaking down your muscle. So basically you're injuring yourself from your training. You're not actually progressing. So this is very important for you to learn, to pay attention. That's the biggest thing. So through my series of videos on this website, I'm going to teach you how to pay attention and teach you why I perform exercises in the way that I do. I've been performing exercises and people have come up to me lots of times and said, hey, why are you only doing that the halfway, or why are you cheating doing this and cheating doing that? And I'd always look at them like my arms at some point were 18 3/4 and a guy would say, oh, why are you only curling halfway up? I'm like, well, the bicep doesn't go all the way up. Not on my arm. Maybe on yours it does. But when I curl to here, this is the bicep. The bicep's already all the way activated. When I start to bring the arm up with the barbell, now I'm using my shoulders, and yes, maybe I'll get an extra contraction in the bicep a little bit more, but I've got to bring the shoulders in, and so the shoulders are also contributing to the overall fatigue factor in the exercise. So I'm not actually pushing the bicep to the same extreme as I could if I just continued the movement in the range that I was doing. So all the ranges of motion that I applied through all of my career in natural bodybuilding had to do with challenging the muscle, but not the joint. There are a lot of CrossFit programs out there right now, a lot of training like deadlift on the floor and be super strong and like the Hulk and all this kind of stuff. But the truth is not everybody's designed to lift weight from the floor in a safe fashion. You can do it, but if your femur is a little bit longer and your lower back is shorter and you go to lift, you have to bend over twice as much as the next guy in order to do the same movement. So these are the types of common sense that are kind of lost in the training circles right now. And people can scientifically back this up, back that up. Oh, if you got tight hamstrings or you got this muscle that's too tight, that's why you can't train this way. But the truth is that's all bullshit. The truth is that there are different ways people are built. And some ways work within your strength curve. And some ways are more like you trying to do the splits with 500 pounds on your back. I mean, nobody would ever try to do the splits with 500 pounds on their back. But doing a squat or a deadlift might be causing that type of challenge on your joints. So why should you do that? Why should you do an extreme range of motion? If you're not stretching the muscle anymore, now you're stretching the tendons and the joints and putting stress on the labrum in the joint itself, like the little cup in the hips or the shoulders. You don't need to do this. So this is what I like to share with you on my channel. I hope that you enjoy some of the videos that come your way, and I'll be doing some commentary on what I'm doing and why, and I feel free to ask questions and give me ideas of different videos you'd like to see. And I'm sure I'll get creative along the way because I'm just doing this because I like to make videos. So I hope you enjoy it and take care for now.